Hi and welcome or welcome back to the Money, Wine and Cheese Club. If you're new here, my name is Sara, and on this channel I talk about all things money, budgeting, and creating the life you really want to live. I speak mostly to women because I know what it's like to get those Sunday evening scaries when another week is about to start and we know people are going to start calling to get their money back because we're way in ahead of ourselves in debt and we just can't make ends meet. We work all the time, we have no fun, and yet we don't seem to get out of this rut. And if that's you, I really want to tell you that it's okay and there's a way out. That was me a few years ago, and things have changed, and it took a lot of outside shifts, but mostly inside ones. So, hey, come along for the ride. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to the channel so that other women will also get the chance to watch it, and maybe it will change their life. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get going. So like I was saying, Sunday evenings for me were very difficult. It was the time that I found myself online trying to figure out a new way of budgeting, a miracle, in the way of budgeting, because I was working all the time. I have 3 kids. My husband was working. I know very well what it's like to be anxious because Monday's coming. Creditors are going to start calling, asking for their money back, and you just don't know what to do. You are working all the time, you have no life, you can hardly put food on the table, and mortgage, you haven't made a payment in a couple of months, and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to turn to, and it's so difficult. It really is desperation, and I've been there not so long ago, but fortunately along the way I started to shift my mindset. I was in a very big, deep financial hole. I lost my house. We had to, drastically change our lives. But even so, we started making more money, but we weren't making any dents on the debt we owed, on the things we owed that we needed to pay. And it took me a couple of years to figure out that it wasn't just about working and putting money towards the debt, because I was working so hard, but life was just happening so much and so fast. Things were breaking down. Cars were dying, no repair possible. Everything, school fees for the kids. We needed to buy this, needed to buy that. It was really hard, and I could not see a way out of it, honestly. And that's why I created this channel. That's why I created my blog, Money, Wine and Cheese, because I really want to tell you that there's a way out, and it starts with you and it ends with you. Does it take a lot of work? Of course it does. You have to work a lot, but you mostly have to change your mindset. It's all about the mindset. I was so busy working and trying to pay off everything that I was just being bombarded because that's what I was putting out. I was just thinking, I have to pay this, I have to pay that, and there's another bill and another bill, and bills kept coming up until the day that I stopped and I thought, no, I cannot do this any longer. I need to change. Something's gotta give, because I can't do this. I feel that physically, emotionally, I cannot keep this up. And I don't know, one day I was driving to work and this music came on the radio, and I started singing like 7:30 in the morning. I just started singing, driving to my crappy job, and it hit me. I was so grateful that I had a job. I was so grateful that I had a car to take me to that job. I was so grateful that despite everything, I was still trying to make it work. I was proud of myself for at least trying to do something better. So I just started, being grateful. And that day was a good day. It was the best day I'd had in a few years. And the next day, the first thing I did was say how grateful I was for everything that I had in my life and for the things that were coming my way that were going to help me out. And from then on, I continued to pay the things we were paying, but I took time to have conversations with my husband because we were in it together. I started seeing things, life, a different way. And that's when everything changed for me. Like, we got so much more traction in the next 3 years than we had the 3 years before. It was life changing. And that's the hope I want to give here on the channel, with my blog, with everything that I do related to money and budgeting. It's not about sacrificing your life. It's not about, just having a miserable life to pay off debt. Well, it's not about that. It's about creating a life you want. And it's up to you how you're going to go about it. But I can tell you for sure that mindset plays a big part in all of this. And you should really see for yourself. Just, journal. Think about it. Talk to yourself about it. That's what I do. I go over stuff in my mind and I just keep talking to myself. And that's what I've realized, you have to do whatever it takes. And for me right now, budgeting is my grounding place. I get stressed if I don't have a budget, if I don't see things there, if I don't see all the money there, if I don't see all my expenses there. I get anxiety because I start thinking, will I have money to pay for this? Will I have money to do that? Oh my gosh, what happens if? So having a budget, having a little bit of money, and it can be as little as $500 on the side for something, breaks down, you need something in your car, it's fine. You've got it covered. I don't reach out for a credit card. Actually, my biggest debt that we had was on credit cards. We had a lot of credit cards on which we owed a lot of money. And I don't do credit cards anymore. I don't care. I mean, I go anywhere with a debit card and cash, and I get by just fine. There's insurance as well. And yes, I might get charged something on my debit card, but one, I will only get charged if I have the money there, and two, I'll get the money back if it's a fraud. So I'm not worried about that because I know when I do something, I have part of it under control, at least the parts that I feel I can control. And that's how I mostly live my life. Of course, I go out spontaneously without having, but it's okay because I know that if all hell breaks through, I still have a little bit of money on the side that I can count on. It's there. It's not even at the bank. I know where it is. I can grab it. That's what works for me right now, and that's how I feel safe. I've started working full-time on my business, on my blog, on my content creation, on my journals that I publish through Amazon. I started working on those 2 years ago. The only reason I could quit my crappy work and start doing this was because first, I planned for it, and second, I don't feel safe by having $100,000 in the bank. I feel safe by having 3 months of expenses set aside in a bank account, and I know that I can afford to not make any money for 3 months. All my expenses will be covered. Now, if the first month I make no money, you can be sure that I'm gonna go out and grab any kind of job I need to that makes me money fast, and a lot of money. And even if it's a crappy job that I don't want to do, but I will do it for a short period of time until I get things back up again, until I have my emergency fund up again. And that's what works for me. I haven't needed to do it yet, but if I need to do it, I can do it. And I know I can do it, and I will do it. So that's how I feel safe. For you, you might need $100,000 in the bank, or you might need $1 million in the bank. We have no debt, so it's okay. It's our living expenses that we have every single month, and we're fine with that. And we live a very good life. I mean, I never in a million years thought I would be living this life. Here I am. It was a goal of mine, but I never thought I would achieve it. It's been, what, about 7 years, for the last 7 years, that I started really being grateful for everything that I have and living the life I want to live. And now I can do it. And that's what I want to tell you. That's what I want to encourage you, to really think about what you want and go for it and see what you need to do. What will it take for you to start living the life you want to live? And I know there's debt, there's bills to get paid, there's children, there's probably a partner, there's whatever it is. Are you even aligned with your partner on where you want your life to go? Are you working towards the same goals? You know, it was a goal of mine to do my work from home because I love taking care of my house and my family, but it was also important to my husband that he could help me and support me through my dream. So that accounts for a lot as well, because I'm not doing this alone. You know, I have my husband's support all the way, my kids' support all the way. Are you working towards the same goals? Because, you know, it would do me no good if this was my goal and my husband said that no way. I mean, you're gonna have a 9 to 5 and you need to make at least this amount of money every single month. Something would have to change, either my marriage or my vision on the life I wanted for myself, if I was willing to compromise or not. And these are things that we really need to think about, because you might say that you want to go on a vacation and you want to save for that vacation, but you keep buying stuff you don't need to impress people you don't even like, instead of saving money for that vacation. So that's never gonna happen. Where are you exactly? That's what I hope comes across with everything, all the content that I create, is this life that we want to live. Create our best life possible, whatever it means for you, because your life, your best life, whatever it looks like for you, is not going to be the same as mine or anybody else's, and it's okay. It doesn't need to make sense to anybody else. It needs to make sense to you, and you need to see if what you are doing is aligned with what you want, with what you're thinking, and where you want to go next, because that's very, very important. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. Please share this video. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. Let me know in the comments. Are you living the life you want to live? I really would like your feedback. I really would like to know if this is something that you ever thought about, if this is something that worries you, whatever your thoughts are, let me know. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.